Okay, so here's the deal. YouTube has quietly started prioritizing a metric that only the best creators are even tracking. And it changes everything about how we make videos that will actually get massive traction with the algorithm and repeat viewers. And the craziest part is that it doesn't even matter how good your CTR and average view duration are without this metric, your videos won't take off.
One of my recent videos had a 13.1% click-through rate and a 57.9% average percentage viewed.
Good numbers. And YouTube buried it. And how does this make sense when you look at our other videos with worse metrics that have gotten way more views and impressions? I recently went to a creator collective event hosted by YouTube where other big creators said this exact myth because it's a really common thing to believe in this YouTube space. Because everyone still thinks that if you have a high CTR and a good average view duration, the algorithm will endlessly push your videos. It's part of the formula, but it's not the whole formula. Your video has to actually matter. So I'm going to show you what this metric is and how you can bake it into your content, even if you are brand new. Okay, let's skip to the proof. This video is from YouTube themselves talking about this metric.
We introduced this concept of satisfaction quite a few years ago, where we're trying to understand not just about the viewer's behavior and what they do, but how do they feel about the time they're spending?
So if satisfaction is the new metric, what actually makes a viewer feel completely satisfied? It's actually a few things and it's hard to put your finger on, so I'm gonna show you examples from the best channels that have this figured out. And it's not about perfect pacing or dragging out your viewer till the end just to get the answer they want. It's the gut level feeling that says this person is being real with me, but in a very specific way. So let's look at Movement by David.
This is the only middle split video that you will ever need to watch.
Welcome to my kitchen where we shall stretch.
His cuts are clever. They are borderline cinematic, but the vibes, it feels like you're hearing from somebody who is not trying too hard to impress you. They are just sharing what they have learned and they're really enjoying it along the way. Okay, but before we go any further, I want to address a common myth. Casual does not equal sloppy. And being real doesn't mean rambling or winging it just because you know your information well. It means you're being thoughtful, but without the mask. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that this might not be resonating with you at all yet. Because most of us are too close to our own work to see what we're holding back. We're not hiding things on purpose, we just don't see it in the first place. So if you're thinking, okay, cool, but how do I even find my bold take? I got you. If you can answer these 3 questions for your video and add them to your outline, then you can have these mic drop moments that people keep talking about and actually sticks with them. These moments will lead to you getting DMs later of people saying your channel changed my life, which I have had happen with small channels. Here's another example of Movement by David doing the same exact thing. The video is called I Disagree with Doctors About Posture. As soon as I saw that one, I wanted to click because it builds so much curiosity. So to get a killer video idea like that one, put your own video ideas through this filter and improve them accordingly. It is the more risk, more truth filter. So ask yourself, what part of this topic feels more uncomfortable and or more risky, but is still very true? You want to up the risk and the discomfort, and then you'll come up with something that people aren't talking about. And that's the kind of thing people share, people talk about. It's not the generic advice they hear all the time, and your video will stand out. Now that you've filtered your video idea through that question, we're gonna use these other questions to make sure the content is things that make people DM you later saying you changed their life. The next question is, what is something I believe that most creators would avoid? This isn't necessarily just a take of yours that you haven't heard on YouTube before, because those could hypothetically be very boring. You wanna think of something that you believe that most creators not only haven't said yet, but also would avoid. Then be the first to talk about it and people will respond. Here's a secret on YouTube that has taken me a long time to learn. Your audience doesn't actually have to agree with everything you say to continue being loyal. In fact, a lot of times your audience will disagree about stuff, but they respect and appreciate that you are taking a stance and making a video about something that hasn't been done a million times. Make a video about something they don't currently agree with and see if you can convince them. And even if you can't, you gave it a good shot in the video and they will be more loyal because of it. Now, this next one doesn't have to be controversial. It can be a little bit more from the heart. And the question you're gonna ask is, what would I say to a friend who needed the truth fast? What that does is it helps you figure out how to be more real. You're not trying to figure out how to please the entire masses. You're imagining one specific friend that you actually have in real life, and you're asking yourself, what would I say to them if I knew that they really needed to hear it? After that, when you're saying who needed the truth, I'm not gonna intentionally hurt my friend's feelings, but I'm gonna give them the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or say the filtered online version, right? And then fast. If you wanna give a friend the truth fast, you're gonna make it more concise, more real, and you're just gonna drop a truth bomb that people can't stop talking about.
So we've got the friend you can be real with, the you and them test, and the more risk, more truth test. If you filter your videos through that, oh my gosh, it's gonna be good.
Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning. Hello. Hi. Are you the friend they should talk to? The friend that needs to hear the truth? That is very understanding, but also wants to hear your bold take. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. You want to hear the truth bomb. You don't want the generic stuff. You don't got time for generic stuff. You're a busy guy. Yeah. That was Sketch. He's 9 weeks old, and that was his first time on camera. Well, on a real camera. He's been on phone cameras plenty of times. So now that you have actually written down the answers to those questions on your outline, you know it worked. If your gut says, oh, can I actually say that? I'm not telling you to be crazy and break YouTube's terms and conditions, but I would argue that movement by David got pretty close to that when he said that he disagrees with doctors on posture. And I doubt your topic is medical, so you're even safer with not violating YouTube's terms and conditions. And if you're scared, it's working. You found a good one. And if you're not scared, keep ideating until you have something that is scary. Be like Sketch. Sketch is not afraid of anything, which is why his name is Sketch. He will waltz on the edge of ledges. He'll climb on people's backs. He tries to put his paws on the oven. He tries to eat ghost pepper hot sauce. And don't worry, we keep him away from all of those things. But the point is, he's living life on the edge, and you should too when you're making YouTube videos. Obviously, this is more with hot takes, not like doing dangerous things on camera. I hope that's clear enough. And the most surprising thing about this that I am so excited for you to discover on your own channel is that when you do this, it's crazy. People actually trust you more, which is so counterintuitive, but it does, because they can tell you're thinking with your own brain, and you also have to have some things to back up your opinion. And when you back up your opinions, people also trust you more. Okay, so let's say you've actually done these things and somebody is 5 minutes into your video. Now they not only are super curious about what you have to say because you have this controversial angle, but also they trust you. Well, this is where most people actually blow it. But here's how to get it right. So when I watched Movement by David's video, by the end of the video, I wasn't just nodding like, cool, bro, thanks for the new take that I hadn't heard before. I was setting alarms to move every hour, and I wasn't second guessing myself on, should I be spending money on a chiropractor? No, I felt free and excited, and I knew exactly what I needed to do next. Now, you've probably heard this concept before of you should have a call to action, I know, but so many creators get this wrong, and then it's not only not helpful, it probably hurts your video more than if you didn't have it at all. It's not a thanks for watching, it's not watch this random video next. It's here's the exact action steps you should take based on what I just told you, and also here's the next piece of the puzzle that is relevant to what you learned, and here is why it's relevant. Ask yourself what shift you want your viewer to take after they watch the video. Here's a summary of what we talked about, Star Wars style. If you actually have built enough curiosity and trust by using these tactics, then you could make money on your very first YouTube video, like I did in this video. So go watch that to figure out how to get a sponsor and make $1,000 on your very first video.